Revelation 3336. From the 19th of November 1944. Spiritual pride. Humility, grace. The spiritual arrogance prevents people from recognizing the truth, for the truth is given by God to those who think themselves small and lowly, who stand in deepest humility and can therefore be appreciated by His grace. However, as soon as the human being believes himself to be knowledgeable without having received the instruction from God Himself, he exalts himself, for the human being's knowledge is small. Even if he receives the pure truth in school, he will only recognize it as truth if God Himself can work in him through His Spirit. But God's Spirit only works in the humble person who asks for the truth because he feels poor in it. But he who believes himself to be knowledgeable does not ask for it, and he who believes himself to possess the truth does not strive for it. And this spiritual arrogance is a great obstacle for him, for he will not be able to recognize the truth if it is offered to him. But people who believe themselves to be called as proclaimers of the divine word are mostly spiritually arrogant. For they have acquired knowledge in school by using their intellect and now believe that they are able to instruct their fellow human beings according to this knowledge. They feel spiritually superior to them and often have not yet established the bond with God which guarantees them true knowledge, that is, truthful knowledge. As a result, they are not taught by God and therefore not called by Him to the mission they have set themselves. But if a true servant of God gets in their way, a person who is taught by God and called by Him to work for Him, then he denies him all authority, which he, however, claims for himself. He does not want to give away the intellectual wealth he has acquired through study, but this intellectual wealth makes him spiritually arrogant. He himself claims an office which must be offered to him by God if he is to be entitled to administer this office. He lacks the inner humility which the working of the Spirit brings him, for it is only through the latter that the knowledge he has received in school becomes comprehensible to him. It only becomes true knowledge as soon as he recognizes it as truth. The humble person who feels poor in spirit need not fear that he is walking in error, for the Spirit teaches him because it can become effective in him. For God gives His grace to the humble. He makes him happy with abundant knowledge, He enables him to recognize the truth, He makes him His servant, His representative on earth. Thus He appoints him to work for Him. But the spiritually arrogant person's knowledge will never fully satisfy his fellow human being. It is offered just as it was offered to him. Scholastically and intellectually thought through but not received from the heart through the working of the Spirit in the human being. And therefore it cannot come alive, it cannot awaken to life. Instead it is received as a word which only activates the intellect but not the heart. The spiritually arrogant person does not speak to the human being's heart and will therefore not have the success a true servant of God has. A person who is deeply humble and asks God for His grace. Amen.